The sound of that wet, humiliating spit hitting a tired woman's cheek cut through the bright afternoon air like a gunshot, freezing every soul inside the small roadside diner. But the rich teenage boy who did it had no idea that 10 silent, leather-clad men at the corner booth had just stopped eating and started watching his every move. Before you dive into this emotional story, take a quick moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel Light of Kindness if you believe kindness can change lives, and even the hardest hearts deserve another opportunity. The diner sat along a sunlit highway, its cracked windows glowing under the blue sky and its faded red sign buzzing faintly in the warm midday breeze. Inside, the air smelled of coffee, grilled bread, and hope that somehow survived even in tired places. Maria Collins had worked there for 12 years. She was 42 years old, a single mother with 2 children, and her hands were always rough from scrubbing floors, while her heart stayed soft enough to smile at strangers. That day had already been long. The lunch rush had dragged on, her feet ached in her worn-out sneakers, and her back felt like it was carrying decades instead of hours. Still, she moved table to table with careful steps, wiping crumbs, refilling glasses, thanking customers, pretending that the rent notice folded in her pocket wasn't slowly crushing her spirit. The bell above the door rang with a harsh jingle as a group of teenagers stepped in. At the center was Tyler Grant, 17 years old, son of a wealthy real estate developer, known at his private school for fast cars, loud laughs, and a cruel streak he never tried to hide. His clothes were spotless, expensive, and bright against the simple world of the diner. He looked at the vinyl seats and chipped tables like they were beneath him, but he was hungry, and hunger gave him reason to sit. Maria approached with her usual warmth, her tired eyes lifting to greet him, and she did what she had done thousands of times before. She served, she smiled, she carried plates filled with steaming food under the bright light of the afternoon. But Tyler wasn't there to eat quietly. He laughed loudly, he complained about the forks, he tapped the table impatiently, he mocked the ceiling fan that squeaked softly above them. And when Maria accidentally brushed his sleeve while setting down his drink, his eyes hardened. And Tyler, he couldn't forget that moment. It followed him through quiet car rides, through silent dinners in his enormous house, through rooms filled with expensive things and empty conversations. He started noticing things he never saw before, the way servers looked tired, the way janitors worked silently, the way cashiers smiled without being seen. He returned to that diner one bright afternoon, alone, quiet, no friends, no laughter. He didn't sit in the main area. He asked the manager if he could help, and for the first time in his life, he wasn't buying forgiveness. He was earning humility. He started coming every Saturday, cleaning tables, wiping counters, learning how hard Maria's world had been without ever telling anyone. He never mentioned his name, he never talked about that day, he just worked. Maria noticed. Of course she did. She noticed how heavy buckets made his arms shake. She noticed how slowly he learned to stack plates. She noticed how his eyes softened instead of rolled. She shared smiles with him, real ones, the kind that don't come from customers, but from fragile, growing respect. The bikers passed by once more under the bright burning sky. They didn't come inside. They saw him through the window, cleaning a table, serving someone else quietly. They rode on, carrying with them the quiet satisfaction that doesn't need applause. Now, before this story reaches its ending, I want you to pause for a moment and leave a comment below. Type something like kindness. Lives or second chances matter, so that everyone watching knows you believe in change, compassion, and the power of unseen heroes. Years later, Maria would sit on the diner steps in the sunlight, watching cars pass, listening to the hum of the highway, knowing that one cruel act had accidentally led to something beautiful. Not because pain is good, but because strength can grow from it. Tyler would grow into a man who never forgot that day. Not as a shameful secret, but as a turning point. He didn't become perfect. He didn't become some fantasy version of kindness. He became human. Because sometimes all it takes is 10 silent witnesses and one brave soul to remind a broken world that dignity still matters. And if this story touched your heart, if you felt even a small lump in your throat or a quiet warmth in your chest, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Light of Kindness so more stories like this can reach hearts all over the world. Under the bright daytime sky, the diner still stands, the fan still squeaks, the coffee still steams, and somewhere kindness rides silently through the world, watching, waiting, and believing that even the worst moments can become the beginning of something beautiful.